Hello. Today's subject is going to be about double knitting. Now, double knitting is one of those knitting magics that allows you to create a reversible fabric in two colors. So what you see in the front will be the exact opposite in the back. Now, the way it's created is super easy. Now, if you can rib, you can sew double knit. But you got to remember, one thing you got to remember is, unlike ribbing, you're working with two yarns. And when you knit one, you always follow it up with a purl. Always. There is never an exception to that rule in double knitting. That's how you create this coolness. So let's get on it. You're going to knit this first one, and I do a special edging, which I have a video on. You can check that out. And then consider these two buddies. Another constant in double knitting is that you always bring the yarn together, either the front or the back. So they will always be together. So we're going to take them both to the back because we're knitting. And you always have the yarn in the back when you knit, don't you? So you want to knit that color. So you pick up the red because I'm knitting a red. Now we're going to purl. So we're going to bring the yarn, both yarns, they're buddies. You don't want to separate them. And we're going to purl that blue stitch in the blue color. Yarn to the back, both yarns, and we're going to knit that red one. Yarn to the front, and we're going to knit the blue one. Knit and purl. Knit and purl, those are the sets. You never want to separate that. Knit and purl. See, there's one set, 2, 3, 4. You're going to knit. Oh, I lost my yarn. And purl. Knit. And purl. Knit. And purl. Knit. And purl. Knit. And purl. Now I do special edging. Check out my video for that. And there's a row of double knitting. Now you'll see everything's red in front. We turn it around and it's all blue. It's that simple. And then all you gotta do when you turn is just switch the colors. So now we're going to be knitting the blue. And purling the red. Now whenever you run across a pattern, you want to do a chart. Any knitting pattern, two-color knitting pattern will work. A knitting chart, you can adapt that to double knitting. Is that not cool? For instance, I just grabbed this off the internet. It's fall print. So whenever you look at a knitting chart, you want to consider each one as 2 stitches. And whenever you go in this direction, it's just like any knitting chart. When you go in this direction, you'll want to knit the red and purl the blue. And then, just like any knitting, you turn your work over and go that direction. You're knitting the blue and purling the red. And then whenever you get to a section in the chart where it's different, you just switch those up too according to what row you're on, what side of the work, all that. I hope that made sense. Clear as mud? Here, I'll just show you right here on this one. So we've got one, remember in the chart, each one of those blocks is 2 stitches. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And our pretend knitting chart says 2, do 2 blocks of a different color. So we just switch. Now, don't let that freak you out right there. It's supposed to look like that. We're going to switch it back to doing, I don't know why I did that, to doing the knitting, the main color, and purling the red. I'll quickly get back over here. See, now you have the 2 that we did, red, and then there's the blue ones. Double knitting is really, really easy. Really easy, and another one of those knitting things that can be really seriously adapted. I strongly suggest, though, that you get a pattern, nice easy pattern, and I'm going to suggest one right now, that will allow you to just knit for a while. This will help you gain knowledge as to what method you want to hold your yarn, because there's about 1 billion different ways of doing it. And my suggestion to you on that one is whatever is comfortable. I tried many, many ways myself. And what am I doing? I'm following that pattern, that's what I'm doing. Until I found out this was right here is the way I am comfortable with. Also, the longer you knit, the better your tension's going to be. So, have at it. I hope that I haven't been too confusing. And that you can make some amazing double knitting for yourself. Happy knitting.